Close your eyes for a moment. It's the 2nd of April, 2011. The Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. 33,000 people packed into every seat. Hundreds of millions more watching on television screens across India, across the world. India needs 6 runs to win the Cricket World Cup. The bowler runs in, the ball pitches, and one man, calm as the eye of a storm, steps forward. The bat swings. The ball rises. It travels high into the Mumbai night sky, over the boundary rope, and into the stands. 6. India are world champions. And the man who hit that 6 was Mahendra Singh Dhoni, captain, leader, legend. This is the story of that moment, and the extraordinary journey that made it possible. To understand what April 2nd, 2011 meant, you have to understand what came before it. India had not won the Cricket World Cup since 1983. 28 years. An entire generation of Indian cricket fans had grown up watching their team fall short. Sometimes, heartbreakingly so, on the world's biggest stage. There were brilliant players. There were brilliant teams. But the trophy, that elusive trophy, always seemed just out of reach. By 2011, the pressure on Indian cricket was enormous. The team was playing at home, on Indian soil, in Indian stadiums, in front of Indian crowds who had waited nearly 3 decades for this moment. And leading this team was a man who had already changed Indian cricket forever. Mahendra Singh Dhoni was not supposed to be here. He grew up in Ranchi, a small city in Jharkhand, far from the glamour of Indian cricket's traditional centers. He worked as a ticket collector on the Indian railways. He played cricket whenever he could, with whatever bat he could find. There was no red carpet for Dhoni, no privileged path, no famous father who played for India. He simply worked, and worked, and worked. When he finally broke into the Indian team in 2004, the cricket world noticed something different about him. Not just his explosive batting, not just his lightning-quick wicket-keeping. It was something in his eyes, a calmness, an absolute, unshakable calmness. In the most intense moments, when other players crumbled under pressure, Dhoni seemed to slow down, to breathe deeper, to see the situation more clearly. Indian fans started calling him something. Captain Cool. The 2011 World Cup began in February. India were one of the favorites, but so were Sri Lanka, Australia, South Africa, England. India moved through the tournament game by game, sometimes brilliantly, sometimes nervously, but always under Dhoni's quiet leadership with purpose. Sachin Tendulkar, playing in what everyone knew would be his final World Cup, was on a mission. The little master had carried Indian cricket for 2 decades. He had given everything. And in 2011, he batted with a hunger that moved the entire nation. The group stages, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals. The semi-final against Pakistan in Mohali was perhaps the most watched cricket match in history. An estimated 1 billion people tuned in, not just from India and Pakistan, but from across the world. India won, and the nation erupted. The final awaited, against Sri Lanka, at the Wankhede, in Mumbai. April 2nd, 2011. Final day. Sri Lanka batted first and posted a formidable total, 274 runs, on a good pitch, under the lights, at the Wankhede. India began their chase. And then, disaster. Virender Sehwag was out early. Then, the moment that stopped a billion hearts. Sachin Tendulkar was dismissed for 18 runs. Sachin, The man this entire World Cup had been building towards. The man who deserved this moment more than anyone. Walking back to the pavilion, head down. The Wankhede fell silent. India needed 275 runs. Their two greatest batters were already back in the dressing room. And then Dhoni made a decision that shocked everyone. In a normal situation, with India struggling in a World Cup final, the captain sends in the most experienced batters available. Yuvraj Singh, who had been in phenomenal form throughout the tournament, was next in the queue. Dhoni promoted himself. He walked to the crease ahead of Yuvraj. The commentators questioned it. The analysts questioned it. Even some fans questioned it. Dhoni didn't care. He had a plan. And in Dhoni's world, the plan always came first. What happened next was one of the greatest partnerships in World Cup final history. Dhoni and Gautam Gambhir, who had been batting brilliantly since the early wickets fell, constructed India's rescue mission run by run, over by over, with the pressure of 1 billion people on their shoulders. Gambhir, who never got the credit he deserved, batted magnificently. 97 runs. Composed, determined, fearless. And Dhoni, at the other end, was doing what Dhoni always did. Reading the game, managing the required rate, waiting, watching, calculating. The overs ticked down. The runs ticked up. And as India got closer, the noise inside the Wankhede became something otherworldly. 33,000 voices, becoming one. And then came the moment. Nuwan Kulasekara bowled the ball. A full-length delivery on the leg side. Dhoni, timing it perfectly, swung his bat in a wide, powerful arc. The ball connected. It rose, and cleared the boundary rope by meters. 6. India win the World Cup. What happened next has been replayed millions of times. Dhoni dropped his bat, raised both arms to the sky, and ran, not walked, ran down the pitch with a joy that was completely unlike the man the world knew as Captain Cool. In that moment, the mask came off. The calmness was replaced by pure, uncontrollable, beautiful human joy. His teammates poured onto the field. Yuvraj Singh fell to the ground in tears. And somewhere in the stands, Sachin Tendulkar, the man who had carried Indian cricket for 28 years, was being lifted onto the shoulders of his teammates. He had always said he wanted to win the World Cup for India. Not for himself, for India. On April 2nd, 2011, his wish was granted. Dhoni finished the 2011 World Cup final with 91 runs not out. Man of the match. In the biggest game of his career, on home soil, under the greatest pressure imaginable. That 6, that one shot, is not just a cricket moment. It is a piece of history, a frozen moment in time that an entire generation will carry with them forever. Where were you when Dhoni hit that 6? Every fan who watched that night knows exactly where they were, who they were with, and how it felt. Because some moments in sport don't just happen on a field. They happen inside us, forever. If this story gave you goosebumps, you're in the right place. Glory Echoes is where the greatest moments in sport come alive again. Every week we retell the stories behind the matches, the legends, and the moments that defined sporting history.
Subscribe, because the next story is even better.